Oh man. All right. Now let's move on to again. I kind of pointed this out in Heat of the Night. A very very strong dichotomy between these two segments because in one you have amazing women's wrestling, and I feel like this tag team match might have gotten almost 15 minutes too. So it went on for a decent amount of time. And now we get a Lana interview, and she says that Ziggler's windpipe isn't crushed or anything like that, and he's talking again, so he should be able to make a full recovery. Summer Rae shows up with her hair up in a bun, rocking kind of like the sexy assistant outfit that a normal girl could probably buy for Halloween. And she tells Lana that she thinks it looks great, and it makes her look. And then I love the way she did this too. It makes me look smarter. No, dangerous. And then she says that Rusev loves the way she looks. And then Rusev shows up behind Lana, tells Summer she looks great, makes out with her for a little bit, then turns around and says to Lana, Lana, you look tired. You should get some sleep. And he goes to touch Lana's face, and she just kind of grabs his hand and shoves it away. And then he laughs as he walks away. And then Summer gets up in Lana's face and just slaps the taste out of her mouth for seemingly no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. I think what kind of irks me about the Summer Rae character is, I feel like she's really regressed back to square one. But again, this is more WWE's problem and not hers. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough because they feel like a wrestling fan, especially, a fan of their product in particular, has just the worst kind of memory because she broke up with Fandango, or Fandango, dumped her, and then she kind of got her respect back because Fandango was nothing but a two-timer. But now she's with somebody that really just wants to make her into another woman that she's not, that doesn't even really appreciate her for who she is, and I feel like she's being disrespected all over again, and so far she's tolerating it, but I'll let this pass. I'm not saying I'll enjoy it, but I'll let this pass if the end game is Summer Rae seeing the light and I guess kind of, I don't know, turning babyface or whatever and just dumping Rusev because it's like, I'm better than Lana. I don't need to be Lana 2.0. Screw this if you can't see that and value that. Because right now, it just really, to me, makes Summer look bad. But I get that maybe that's the point right now, so I really don't know how to feel about it. And then, yeah, that slap for no reason. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what is this? But yeah, it was what it was, and there's not really much you can say than that right now.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. I don't know. I've kind of aired all of my grievances with this whole Lana Rusev Summer Rae angle, and even though Summer Rae does definitely rock the crap out of that outfit, that doesn't mean that this is any less of a really ridiculous, borderline misogynist storyline.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
all right. Up next, though, we had our main event of the evening: Sheamus, Rusev, and Owens taking on Cena, Cesaro, and Orton. And I gotta say, man, I freaking love this. This felt so much like a house show finish, but I just got so into it because nobody really got hurt here. You have Cesaro knocks Owens into Sheamus at one point, and Sheamus gets all up in Owens' face, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And they start shoving each other, and Sheamus clubs Owens and knocks him onto the ground, and then he just grabs a briefcase and leaves. And Owens even manages to kind of hold his own against Cesaro for a little bit, but then when he wants to tag Rusev in, Rusev's still recovering. But even that doesn't cause him to get like the upper hand taken away from him because he still ends up being able to hit a senton on Cesaro, which buys enough time for Rusev to get back onto the apron and ready for the tag. But then Owens gets all pissy with him and he slaps him on the chest for the tag and he's like, "What are you doing? I'm trying to tag you and you're not up here. What are you doing?" And he ends up being just like, I don't need this. I'm out of here. And he leaves. And on his way out, Rusev tries to grab him, and he turns around and super kicks the crap out of him. And this all leaves it to 3-on-1. So even though the babyfaces won, it took 3 finishers for them to beat Rusev, and I loved it.
Am I the only one? First of all, I loved it too, and I just agree with your overall review. I had a lot of fun with this 6-man tag, which that's another kind of rarity for WWE to pull off, because I know they rely on the tag main events so often for their television program, and very rarely do I get as into it as I did here. But I find it curious that, another week, even though they were kind of spaced apart a little bit, so I don't want to say they were consecutively, but Rusev, tries to overcome the odds. I mean, before it was after a grueling triple threat, and he tries taking the fight to Cena, and he would have won, so they made him look like a beast that way. And then he didn't get immediately punked out when his partners left him. Like he actually did get a super kick on Orton's arm, and really, I love it because the only reason Rusev got distracted, not saying he would have won, but what took him off his game was Lana coming out and then having that whole skirmish with Summer Rae. because that's when he walked right into the attitude adjustment, which led to the whole, Cesaro swing sequence, and then he just catapulted him into an RKO. But that all started because he was distracted by Lana, so you can't say it was any weakness on Rusev's part. So yeah, the booking of Rusev has been very interesting, and I'm actually looking forward to what they do with him once he gets over this hurdle known as Dolph Ziggler, because he's just been looking so credible against these guys. I mean, I wouldn't honestly be opposed if his next destination was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or if he wanted to have another go at the United States title, because Rusev's just on all cylinders right now.
He sure is.
I love it, man. I love it. Like, I feel like for people, and I'll admit, I think I, even was kind of one of them, so I don't say it from a pulpit like, see, I knew and you didn't, because I feel like I had the same reservations. For people that were worried about Rusev, and this program with Cena, he's done, whatever, like, to me, he looks more beastly now than he ever has, because he's been, like, overcoming odds and really showing that he is the super athlete. So really dig it. Again, dug the babyface finish. Cesaro looked great in this match. He was uppercutting everybody and bringing the fight to just everyone. Love that. And yeah, RKO pops every time, and Orton's just so much fun.
He's a king, man. He's a king.
Yeah, great finish. Not really like any intrigue added to the U.S. Championship picture or anything like that. I could see a lot coming to a head next week, and that's why I'm looking forward to it, both in the U.S. title picture and in the world title picture, because maybe John Cena will compete twice. We don't know. I don't know. But yeah, definitely a lot of curiosity heading into next week's Raw. But this main event was solid, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And the way that Orton and Cena were getting into Cesaro's swing might have been my highlight of the night.
Definitely.
Because Cena looked like he was trying to just freaking pantomime being a cowboy.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so good. I enjoyed this match, and specifically the finish so much.
Absolutely.
Lots of fun. And it's funny because the last line of my notes is, baby faces win via schmaz.
Nice.
Just the corniest of schmaz. All right, dude. I'm ready to move on when you are.
All right, let's move on to high spots and low shots. My low shot, we just got done talking about him, is Rusev. He is going to leave here. His girlfriend leaves him, and now his partners leave him.
I think my only argument against Rusev being your low shot is, sure, he lost, but on that same note, he looked strong in defeat. It took 3 finishers to beat him, and now, not only is he still with Lana IRL, but kayfabe-wise, he gets to go home to that in Summer Rae.
Yeah, when you put it that way, I can certainly see your point, but the abandonment issues have to be so real right now.
I can relate to Rusev so much right now.
Yeah, Lana leaves him, your partners leave you, dude, nobody loves you. That's really gotta just crush you. And
you don't need to say it in front of everyone, John, jeez!
Poor Rusev, man. So who's your low shot?
Oh, man. You know what? Based on a combination of not actually doing anything really good tonight and just me losing a lot of interest in him, my low shot is Bray Wyatt, because I just don't give a crap anymore. When he cut his promo, I have one line of notes for his promo. I have Bray Wyatt promo. Harper knows he's more than just flesh and blood. He's an enigma. Quote unquote, anyone but you. What effing ever. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, the only glimmer of hope I would have if they were going to do a year-long program between Reigns and Wyatt is that maybe it would get Wyatt his steam back, but I doubt it. I'm not that optimistic. I want people to care about this gimmick again. Hell, I want to care.
Do you want to know how to get people to start caring about Bray Wyatt again?
How do you do it?
Tell him to shut up and get in the ring.
Easy enough for me. I just wish.
Because as amazing as his promos are, we are so oversaturated by them. I can't even handle it anymore. When he turns on the television and it's just his face cutting a promo, my attention turns out.
Yeah. And I think it's because, he cuts so many, they really do all start to run into each other.
They blend into each other, yeah, they really do. They're all starting to seem like the same thing. And I know they're not. I acknowledge that they're not. But the fact that he has the same diction and the same voice and the same promo style, and he says a lot of very similar stuff. I won't say that he always says the same thing, because I acknowledge that he doesn't. But he says a lot of very similar stuff, very similar themes. Everything just runs together. I feel like it's hard to differentiate his current feud with Roman Reigns and his feud from the fall against Dean Ambrose. Like, what's the difference other than the fact that a month ago he tried temporarily to get Roman Reigns' daughter involved, and that just flamed out for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It really sucks because, again, much like with Seth Rollins, I would say this has more to do with the creative forces rather than the performer themselves. Because I believe the performer that is Bray Wyatt is game, is ready to embrace any challenge and just, kind of be that performer, be that, like, next level heel. I feel like his potential. I don't want to be one of those guys that's like the PG environment is totally curtailing, Bray Wyatt's potential, because I don't necessarily believe that. But you introduce the daughter and then you drop it like, for no reason. Like you said, it completely flames out. It just makes me wonder, like, I don't know. Does Bray have a lot of ideas that get rejected? We've heard that from superstars in the past. I wonder what Bray Wyatt's relationship is creatively with the bookers, because he just seems like a guy to me that would spout ideas off just nonstop, but keep being told no. I just get that vibe. I could be totally wrong on that, but I just really feel for the guy regardless to get back on point, because I really do feel like he's lost a lot of steam when I feel like this guy should have been like a marquee player by now. And maybe WWE perceives him that way, but I certainly don't. So with that said, on to my high spot. Let me see. You know what? I'm going to say that my high spot is The Undertaker.
Okay, good.
He was
That's a
able
relief. I was so scared that you were going to take my high spot.
Well, there you go. Have no fear. I'm going to do The Undertaker, because he was able to successfully perpetrate his attack last night at Battleground, and then tonight was able to deliver a promo. He delivered it with all the confidence and conviction in the world. And not only that, he didn't back down from Lesnar tonight. And really, I can't even say that Lesnar won the brawl, nor did Taker win the brawl, to be fair. But Taker stood his ground, and I think against a person like Brock Lesnar, that's actually saying a lot than what may be said at first glance. So Taker is my high spot.
All right, I can dig that. Yeah. Yeah, he had a crazy night tonight. I don't even know if I would call it crazy good, just crazy. Just in general, it was chaotic.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, my high spot is Sasha Banks.
Yes!
I made up my mind like 25 minutes ago when we were talking about how she had an amazing night on commentary. She shut down JBL and Michael Cole on multiple different stupid things that they said, because that seems to be all they know how to do anymore. And most importantly, I'm going to continue building up on this. Second of all, because that was the first of all, the commentary thing. Second of all, she won her match. Third of all, said match was against Paige. And fourth of all, the way she won was via submission. So just everything piling up on top of each other. And yeah, Sasha Banks had an amazing night. And she got her first win on Raw, on the main roster. And she unlocked her theme music, so we're going to get to hear that next week, hopefully, if not on SmackDown. Just everything is turning up Sasha.
Absolutely. I'm just looking, and apparently they have a Fallout segment up, so you and I will have to watch that later.
For sure.
But yeah, Sasha's got the, not to pull up Bray Wyatt here, which is funny because we just got done talking about him, but she's got the whole world in her hands right now. She's making Divas champions, past and present tap out. She's, dare I say, money in the bank. I love it. Sasha Banks will be Divas champion soon. I feel it in my bones, and I ain't got to complain about that.
The more time goes on, the more I think Charlotte's going to be the one to take the title off Nikki.
I'm somewhat convinced of that as well, but Sasha's giving me hope, and maybe that's what a real heel does. Gives you hope before it's just all shattered right in front of your face. But she had a great night tonight.
The crazy thing is, dude, Charlotte is connecting with the casual audience big time, too.
Definitely. But you know what, though, Ashton? Even though you and I, have, I don't want to say pie in the sky dreams, because I do believe she can achieve them, but even though we have a lot of ambitions, I'll say, for Sasha Banks.
Maybe we should be cheering for Nikki Bella to turn face, because if Nikki Bella's a face, Charlotte won't take the title off of her, Sasha will.
Yeah, you certainly make a fair point there, but the bigger overall point I wanted to make before we move on, I'm just glad the crowd is connecting with a female performer.
Yes, dude. When Paige got tagged in, that might have been the third highest crowd reaction of the night behind Lesnar and Taker's stuff.
Exactly. This is what we've been waiting for. Hearing Paige get that kind of pop, seeing Charlotte make that kind of connection. Hell, Becky got a chance, people rallying behind her, which I think translates into Sasha's getting legitimate heat. Like, these women are getting reactions, and it's beautiful. So I don't care if it's Charlotte, Becky, Paige, I mean, hell, I honestly would even kind of like it if it was the belt. If you're taking an interest in the division as a whole, it is a victory. Obviously, me and Asha, as I'm sure everybody is, has their horse in the race, so to speak. I mean, we're Team Banks all day, every day. But just the idea that this division is getting this kind of respect and credibility back slowly but surely gets me even more amped up for what they're going to do at SummerSlam. And especially if the one rumor is true that all three teams are just going to converge on the battlefield and just have this big, like, trios kind of tag match, this triple threat, six tag, whatever, just huge melee, I could get into it. In fact, I think it could be one of the top matches on the card with the momentum they're building. So let's see
Definitely.
what the future holds, but I'm just so excited, bro. I'm so jazzed up knowing that the crowd is responding to these women. It's just great.
I'm glad you're jazzed up, John.
Absolutely. So you ready for the next segment?
Yes.
Raw request. You know what? My raw request, I think, is going to be very straightforward. I would like next week, this is very specific to next week, clear up the situation in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and U.S. Championship picture. And I mention both because John Cena got up in Seth Rollins' business. So I don't know what that means. So I think my raw request is, like, enlighten me, illuminate the situation. What's going on? Are you faking us out with your left hand so you can punch us with the right and maybe Cena isn't even the contender at all? I just want to know what's happening with the U.S. Championship picture and the World Title picture, so I would like that cleared up next week, and that is my very specific raw request for the week.
I like it. I like it. You know what my raw request is, John?
What's that, bro?
Just keep doing what you're doing with the Divas, but with less commentary. Specifically with less Bellas on commentary, because they really aren't good.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to keep them as observers or whatever,
And
fine
you know
by
what?
me.
I'm going to even add to that. You can have the Bellas on commentary, but make sure that they know they're freaking heels.
Yeah, really. Like,
Or,
have them
or
turn up.
another alternative, I'm just providing the WWE with all the options tonight. If you don't want to let them know that they're heels, turn them face in a more official manner so that Team Bad can be the official heels of this feud.
Yeah, definitely. Like, do something, because I hate how they oscillate between heels and faces in their words, heels in their actions. I hate that shit. That has always gotten under my skin. And it's not just a Bella thing. Like, I think other people have done it before, too.
Yeah.
I can't think of any names at the moment, but I mean, because Bella's the primary focus. But I don't like that. I think I really hate inconsistency in character portrayal. Because WWE themselves even say, we are not a sport. We are sports entertainment. They are an entertainment industry. Well, in any entertainment medium, like, how am I going to get into a movie or a TV show when there's no clearly defined antagonist or protagonist, or at the very least, like, if you don't have a clearly defined anti-hero or whatever, and they just keep oscillating every week, they don't know what they are. It's kind of like that Big Show joke. You wake up, and you're like, am I the hero or the villain today? Well, figure it out. Walk a path and stick with it. I just really hate the inconsistencies. So, completely agree with you there.
Yeah.
All right, which only leaves one segment left. 30-second hot seat. I'm stepping up to the plate. Ashton, what do you got for me this week?
How do you think Seth Rollins is going to be involved in SummerSlam? And to go further with that, or I guess I should say, do you think that Seth Rollins will ever feud with Triple H? And if so, when do you think that'll happen? You have 30 seconds. Time says now.
Okay, I do think he will feud with Triple H. Honestly, and this may seem a bit weird, but I think they may save that feud for, like, Rumble and end it just before Mania so that Seth can have a fresh program for Mania. But now I'm thinking they're going to push that way back to be on the road to WrestleMania, but not at WrestleMania. That's my prediction.
Okay, and how is he going to be involved at SummerSlam?
Well, SummerSlam, I'm still saying he's going to have a title match with Sting. I think
Okay.
Cena's a fake out. So,
Wait,
yeah.
Sting? Wait, you think he's going to go one-on-one with Sting?
Yeah, I feel like Triple H is going to throw another challenge his way because he just keeps shooting his mouth off. And then, maybe he'll say that he's even better than Triple H or something. Triple H comes out, and then he'll say, well, Seth, let's see if you can do what I did at WrestleMania. And then, lights go out. Maybe Sting emerges, Scorpion Death
Wow,
drops.
that's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. Because it's funny because apparently Meltzer has been saying that they're going to try and associate Sting with Roman Reigns to kind of give Reigns that credibility.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that because, like, I'm Roman Reigns is growing on me again, and I'm loving what they're doing with Reigns. I feel like he consistently has one of the better matches on pay-per-view cards, and like he's really been showing up like the last several. pay-per-view events. Like, I feel like he's on a good trajectory. I think if you put Sting in the equation, and this is just me as somebody who wasn't even ever really an ardent like Roman Reigns hater. At worst I always became like meh with the guy. But I think that's going to show everybody you're trying way too hard to portray Roman Reigns a certain way. This feels far more organic what they're doing with him right now, just running, with his bro Dean Ambrose.
Well, I mean, there's always the possibility that Ambrose and Harper, or sorry, not Ambrose, Wyatt and Harper could kind of isolate Ambrose, beat him down, and kayfabe injure him so that he can't help Reigns anymore. And then Sting shows up and tags with Reigns to take them out.
Now, would Wyatt have like a match with Sting or associate with Sting as well? Because keep in mind the other rumor that if
No,
Wyatt
what I'm saying is the match that's rumored is Sting and Reigns versus Wyatt and Harper.
Oh, okay. I guess the interactions between Bray Wyatt and Sting would make it worthwhile enough, but I'm still not 100% sold on that. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's everything, bro.
All right then. Well, guys, with that said, this has been Raw. This has been Twit Wow, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment and subscribe on YouTube. What was the highlight of Raw for you this week? Did you really enjoy the big brawling segment between Undertaker and Brock Lesnar? What do you think the resolution is going to be for both the United States title picture and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture? Be sure to take the conversation over to Facebook, the group Tweetoff, an amazing pro wrestling group. A lot of passionate wrestling fans there. Pretty indifferent, pretty split about The Undertaker's return, so maybe you'll want to get in on that debate. But I get it. If you're not a real socialite, if you like to keep your wrestling conversations minimal, Ashton's got you covered with our Twit Wow subreddit. There you can find all of our Twit Wow episodes, as well as create threads of your own relating to pro wrestling to discuss with myself and my cohort and commentary here. And guys, again, still a jam-packed week because this Wednesday we will, see you again. First with our Lucha Underground review. Maybe the last Aztec medallion will be assigned. But also, after that we will have our NXT review. But then we resume the G1 Climax tournament, I believe, Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. And that continues, I think, all the way through Sunday. Really appreciate the feedback that we have gotten so far on the G1 Climax live reactions. So really appreciate that, guys. And Friday is also ROH Death Before Dishonor, so you will be seeing live reactions to that. That is going to be absolutely insane. So yeah, guys, TwitWow, your sub boxes are going to explode with all that TwitWow goodness. We appreciate all the support, guys. We love you so much. Keep taking this ride with us. And until then, tune in and peace out.